Hey everyone, welcome to the CarVenture. Today I am going to give you a brief rundown of cheap cars that are actually good but are commonly ignored by many buyers. Here, I didn't include used cars, only those brand new ones that have a really low asking price. Of course, price is a determinant of a car's quality. Whether you like that idea or not, the price tag of a particular vehicle will somehow tell you what you can expect about its performance, features, and reliability. But from time to time, there are certain entry-level units that will give you the benefit of a smooth ride without having to bury yourself in a mountain of debt. Those are the cars you'll see here. Before I start, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Those little clicks are actually a big help for me in sustaining this channel and creating useful car-related content. Now let's start this rundown. 2024 Kia Forte. I think it's easy to get beguiled by the Kia Forte. Based on its looks alone, you would really think that this is a performance car that costs a lot. Fortunately, it doesn't, despite its sporty vibe. The sharp styling and sleek aura of this car aren't its greatest asset. Similar to other cars that I listed here, the Kia Forte is very easy to carry in your pocket. You can even get this sedan for a price of around $20,000 or so, which is really cheap for a car that is as good as this. While it is true that it has compromised its performance and build, that doesn't really mean that the Kia Forte is bad. The 2-liter, 4-cylinder engine of the Kia Forte produces up to 147 ponies. It's a bit lethargic, I know. So, if you are willing to stretch your spending, you can actually get its turbo 1.6-liter 4-cylinder engine, which can kick at 201 horsepower. It's definitely a better choice for those who want a car that will not lag during highway merges or freeway cruises. However, if you want to keep your spending to a minimum, stick with its base powertrain. The less powerful engine, which is paired with an automatic transmission, is quite capable of achieving up to 40 miles per gallon on the highway and up to 34 miles per gallon combined. These numbers are quite terrific in my opinion, since they put Ford among those affordable yet fuel-savvy cars. There's nothing stunning about the car's interior. The best way I can describe it is simple, but it's not actually Spartan. The quality of materials is nice, and the seats, especially on the rear, can confidently cradle 2 adult occupants comfortably. It gives a pleasant ride, and it's something that you should seriously experience too. T24 Chevrolet Trax. You can't really sleep on the newer models of the Chevy Trax. This time, the SUV is something that I can really vouch for. It already has enough space and size to give you a more satisfying ride. Plus, I really have to give it to Trax. For a price of around $20,000 or so, the changes in its design and safety features are more than stellar. It really revamped its once awful image, which is the biggest reason why it's such a nice purchase. The current Trax uses a front-wheel drive, which is then operated by a 137 horsepower turbo 3-cylinder engine and 6-speed auto transmission. I don't know if this feels familiar to you, but for those who know, the powertrain of the Trax is actually borrowed from the Trailblazer. So far, I haven't seen any negative feedback about its engine or transmission, so I bet they're nothing but reliable. The interior of the Trax actually provides more cargo space and legroom on the rear. It's not cavernous, but it's definitely bigger than its predecessors. The cabin appointments are also great. It doesn't really feel cheap or rushed. Even the chassis isn't built from cheap materials, so I can guarantee that it's not going to break anytime soon. While its acceleration is snail-like, the way it drives is certainly satisfying. Its car-like demeanor is one of the reasons why I enjoy driving this car. It doesn't feel that you are stuck on a moving sheet of metal. It has good handling, its brake is assuring, and the steering is surprisingly responsive and crisp. All the things that you would also want from a car. 2024 Kia Soul. I would revolt if you don't consider the Kia Soul in your shopping list. Aside from the fact that this is one of the cheapest SUVs you can get brand new these days, the Soul actually has some good chops that can give you a nice driving experience. Moreover, I do find its distinct boxy design attractive, and that gives additional merits for you to consider bringing home this SUV from the dealership. The boxy Kia Soul, despite being a subcompact SUV, has a spacious cabin, again, due to its boxy nature. Its naturally upright assembly ensures that its cocoon can cater to passengers and cargo adequately. It's also properly appointed, as you can have it fitted with keyless entry, a smartphone charging pad, and even ambient lighting. The touchscreen infotainment of this SUV is also nice, as it already has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility across all trim levels. There's only one engine for the Kia Soul, though, and that is its 2-liter 4-cylinder engine that produces up to 147 horsepower for its front wheel. The transmission is a CVT, so it doesn't really help mitigate the sluggishness of this car. Fortunately, it does feel agile, thanks to its sharp handling and steering. Nothing should stop it from driving you around town, though. It would really struggle on traffic merges or getting off from stoplights and all that. I do feel that its fuel economy is just average compared to the cars that I listed here. It only earns 27 miles per gallon in the city and about 32 or 33 miles per gallon on the highway. But in the grand scheme, that's not bad, considering that the Soul's structure isn't really that aerodynamic. 24 Hyundai Venue. For an SUV, it's quite amazing that the Hyundai Venue retained a really low starting price. It's more or less $20,000 for its base model, which in my opinion is Hyundai lowballing the actual quality of this car. I see the Hyundai Venue as an excellent car for first-time SUV buyers as well, aside from being cheap, fuel-efficient, and easy to maneuver even in tight spots. Plus, it has a nice set of standard drive assistance tech that ups its value by a notch, such as its forward collision avoidance assist and lane keep assist. Of course, there are some compromises on its overall offering, considering its price. It doesn't have all-wheel drive, for example. But does that really matter? At this price point, all you need is a car that can drive reliably and comfortably. Any other is just an extra perk that you should consider if your budget will allow you to do so. The Hyundai Venue is underwhelming in terms of power. Its 4-cylinder engine only yields 121 horsepower, which is sufficient enough to move you from point A to point B around town. But it doesn't do well when it comes to passing on highways. A continuously variable automatic transmission is also its sole gearbox, but then again, that's pretty much okay in the grand scheme. What's important now is that the car is actually fuel efficient and has a comfortable interior for its occupants. 2025 Nissan Versa. The Nissan Versa is one of the cheapest cars you can get today. Unfortunately, it's already at the end of its lifeline, as its production is about to be discontinued. Still, no one can deny that the Versa has provided many people with a means of decent basic transport. It offers an impressive fuel economy, which makes it more of a high-value option for those who are tight on budget. Plus, its performance doesn't suck, and it doesn't have a quirky driving demeanor. The Versa is only using a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine that generates up to 122 horses, powering its front wheels. The base model has a 5-speed manual transmission, but on its higher trims, you can get a continuously variable auto transmission. When on the road, you will really feel the sluggish movement of the Versa, especially when pulling off from traffic lights or merging into highways. But things would get better if your Versa had a CVT since it replicated actual changes on the gear. According to EPA estimates, the Versa earns up to 40 miles per gallon and up to 32 miles per gallon in the city when it's fitted with the CVT. These numbers fall slightly if you stick to its base manual transmission. But the drop isn't that much, so if you want to save money for the upfront cost, you can actually settle on the base model. Even its interior is actually nice. I no longer find it a cheap cabin. It now employs good materials and even features soft-touch surfaces here and there. Of course, you can't expect leather upholstery and advanced appointments on its cocoon, but heck, it still feels fancy for its price. And that completes this list. Thanks for sticking to the end. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and share buttons. I know it's a chore, but it helps the channel a lot. Until next time, drive safely.